Up to the Minute is back, and of course, we have to bring one of our favorites back, and that is Bryan Willett, who is the master of disaster up in Acadie Bathurst for the Titan. Bryan, welcome to Islanders Up to the Minute.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Bryan, we're in the heat of the summer right now. We're looking ahead to the training camp for both of our teams. But let's backtrack a little bit here. And I want to talk about Bathurst and the rebranding and the new ownership, the big change. They seem to be about a year behind the Islanders, but they're definitely mirroring one another. I want your perspective on what's happened with Bathurst and the positives that have come from it.
Well, in terms of the rebrand, from what I was able to gather, the whole rebrand was planned for last season. The only problem is the sale of the team from the previous owner to the new ownership group took too long, and the jersey manufacturers for Reebok were unable to get everything ready in time. So the rebrand had to be put off until this year, and on May 15th, the team unveiled their new logo, new slogan, new jerseys, and even a new mascot.
Now, I was at the Quebec draft this year, and one of the things that was incredibly noticeable was the amount of money that the Titan put into their booth, we'll call it, and just how classy everything was. Could you describe the difference between the way the Bathurst, the way the Titan were before, and the way they are now when it comes to things like that?
In a sense, it's night and day compared when you compare the old owners to the new ownership group. It's more professional, they're more in front of the people. With it being a local ownership group, well, I shouldn't say local because it's more regional, because we do have some ownership from outside of Bathurst itself that extends into the Acadian Peninsula. And with the regional ownership, really truly has become a community team because it's owned by the people that live here and live around here. And with the investment that each of the owners have made, they really want to bring the people back and bring awareness back to the Titan brand.
And that's the way these teams survive. And it's a community thing. At the NHL level, it's a lot different, and I think that's the one thing that these ownership groups are starting to realize. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Everything needs to come from the ground up, and without the support of the community, without responsible ownership, teams, especially in small markets like Bathurst and, in a sense, Charlottetown, those teams would not survive.
Now, before we go, I want to touch on the draft.
hmm
What player that you guys drafted stands out and are excited to see going into training camp?
The one that stands out to me would have to be the first selection that we made in Jordan Mayer of the Central Ice Pack from the Newfoundland Major Midget Hockey League. He put up nearly 2 points per game last season in his draft year. He's 5'11". He may need to put on a little bit of extra size, but he definitely has what it takes to give us a little bit of an offensive spark that we were missing last year. As a lot of people will kindly point out, the Titan did have the lowest scoring offense in the league last year.
Before we go, what's going on in Bathurst with you?
Well, in addition to Titan Nation, the website, and all the social media stuff, I've been approached by the Titan to help them out running the website and doing some of the social media stuff for the upcoming season. That's something that I gladly accepted and am looking forward to hopefully a long partnership with the Titan.
It's well deserved, buddy. And could you give our fans your information? You're part of Up to the Minute now. You are our official Titan correspondent, and I thank you for that. But pimp your wares, sir.
Well, thank you, and you can find me on the web at titannation.ca, and I can also be found on the tweets and the Instagram at titannation.ca. without the dot. Sorry.
No worries. All right, Bryan. Thanks a lot, buddy. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you on a regular basis during the season.